Andy, do you like sports betting?
I sure do. Yes.
Do you watch football?
Hell yeah.
Do you like to bet on football?
Definitely.
Well, folks, this is the third annual Degenerates Guide to the Super Bowl. Where this Sunday, if you want to draft with any sports book, I suggest using DraftKings, where if you use Andy's code 6sports, bet $5, get up to $250 in deposit and back in bonus bets. I believe that's the right promo. I'm getting the vibe on that.
Absolutely, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, you bet just $5 and you get 200 back in bonus bets. Super Bowl's the perfect time to do it, right?
You know what? It is, because it's that time of the year. The non-casual football watcher, non-casual, casual, everyone's going to be watching Sunday, not just the crazy people like you and me. And I say crazy in the most hearted way possible because we just love the game. But no, it's the last chance for us to watch football. And for some people out there, hey, you want to make a little extra money? Life's tough right now. We don't know where the world's going. So if you want a little extra cash, maybe take some of these plays, and you know what? Maybe a few of them hit.
That's it, man. That's it. There's so many possibilities. And even if you're watching this and you're going to be watching the Super Bowl with a Taylor Swift fan or someone who's not a big football fan, there's everything, of course, from the Gatorade color to how many, even your own prop plays you can do at home, how many times Taylor Swift appears on the television or whatever the heck. There's tons of stuff you can do.
Does Travis Kelce propose? There's so many different rabbit hole avenues you can go down. But the first bet, I was going on DraftKings and I went to the novelty section right away. The first bet that caught my eye, the first touchdown scorer's jersey number to be over 15.5.
Oh, that's interesting.
So
that's Travis Kelce.
Saquon Barkley.
Saquon, 26. That's Kareem Hunt, I think. Mm-hmm. What's Hunt? Yeah, Hunt's like 25 or something, isn't he?
Dallas Goedert.
Yeah.
Noah Gray. I'm looking at this more that if the Eagles start with the ball, we all know where it's going.
Yeah, well, the Eagles have to do that to try to set the tone. Because if they can set the tone that you cannot stop Saquon Barkley, like if he goes off for a 63-yard touchdown like he did against the Commanders, that is a statement and puts the Chiefs on notice and is the Eagles' best chance. If Kansas City can somehow stuff up Saquon Barkley, they're going to try, because they're going to make Jalen Hurts beat them with his arm, which he has the talent to do, but that's got to be their strategy.
Exactly. And I was going to go in order of how I placed them, but I'm going to jump ahead because the next bet I have, you on your show with Joe a couple weeks ago, did this, and I really like it for this game. But that's Saquon Barkley, 2 touchdowns, plus 285.
And it's so funny because for most players, 2 touchdowns, you're looking at plus 500. Like plus 285 is not that big of a payout for an exceptional accomplishment, right? But I think it's a good bet because, again, if you think, and it all depends how you think the game's going to go. If you think that the Eagles can run on Kansas City, now remember, regular season, Kansas City gave up the 8th fewest rushing yards per game, 101 and change per game. And how about this, Griff? I don't know if you knew this. I just found this out. Saquon Barkley has played against every team in the NFL except the Chiefs.
I did not know that.
And
it's his birthday too on Sunday as well.
Okay. So an interesting little nugget there. Does that mean anything? Does it not? It's he's never played the Chiefs before, being in the NFC. I guess the schedule's never lined up, but that's I would take the two tutties for old Saquon.
And a little nugget of mine that I've been really poked. And also, here's how I view it. I don't view it as like he's going to have some crazy rip for like 60 yards. I'm just saying when they get down into the red zone, into that 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, unless they're at the 2 or the 1, we know where they're going to go with the ball.
Well, and also, let's not forget that Jalen Hurts ran in 3 of his own the other game. So Jalen could also be that. What do you have it up? Like what's Jalen 2 running into? Is that because, again, if you're in close, and it depends how you think the game's going to go. Like the Chiefs' defense is formidable, but an anytime touchdown, at least 1 for Jalen Hurts, I want on the docket.
So I have DraftKings is doing I opened DraftKings app. They have one before I looked at odds. They have a boost of either him or Mahomes to get into the end zone at plus 100. Either guy.
I would take Hurts. I would. So you get plus 100 money if either?
Either.
Oh, heck. Come on.
It's literally wrapped. It literally has a gift box next to it, plus 100 boost. Hurts or Mahomes to score a touchdown. Hurts anytime touchdown is minus 110. And Patrick Mahomes, if you want to take this on your own, it's a really good one. Plus 310.
Jeez. Okay. I'm definitely I'm certainly in for that plus 100 if either gets in.
But there's someone else who I like his yards and to get in because I really feel like if the Chiefs are going to do what they usually do, this man has to produce. I cooked up a little parlay of Travis Kelce, 60 plus yards and a touchdown at plus 238. He's been averaging about 50 a game. He only had 19 in the AFC Championship. So you have to figure if the Chiefs are going to do what they do best, and especially too if, as I'm starting to get the vibe, this may or may not be his last game. It may be, but if it is, he's going to want to go out not only on top, but saying, "Hey, I was a huge contributor to us getting this victory." So I really like this little parlay that I cooked for it.
Now I saw this the other day, and I'm trying to. I couldn't. I was looking quick. I couldn't find it again, but there was something like he did not get a end zone target like while he was in the end zone in the last Super Bowl. Something like that. Whereas the point being, in the last couple Super Bowls, he hasn't been that big of a factor. But you have to think, like, to your point, like he's your guy. He's your go-to guy. That's not a crazy line. He doesn't really rip off the big chunk plays anymore. But if you dibble and dabble there with the run game sort of complementing it, that could happen. Sure.
So I'm also looking up. There's a fun trend with him. This is his 5th Super Bowl. In the first Super Bowl against the Niners, caught a touchdown. Next year against the Bucs, didn't catch a touchdown. Against the Eagles, went 6 receptions, 81 yards and a touchdown. Last year had 9 receptions, 93 yards, no touchdown. Are we noticing it? Are we noticing a little theme there?
Every other year. So he's due.
He's due. That's why but like I said too, I think it's the fact that he has to have a big game, but then not even a big game, but has to be contributing to a sense because we know the Eagles DBs can lock down. They can lock down the receivers because we know Kansas City's receivers aren't the best. But look at what Houston did. Houston got done to them by Travis Kelce. They're like, oh, they kind of forgot to block him, sell it to block the receivers and Mahomes. Kelsey's left wide open. So I'm banking on red zone targets, but I'm also banking on if this game's, say, 34-28, 2 minutes to go, they're marching downfield. That big bearded man who's dating the world's most famous pop star is just going to be like, get me the ball, get me the ball, get me the ball.
It depends as well. Do you have, and we saw those other contributors who, like, I would not put a anytime touchdown bet on any other receiver other than Travis Kelce. But you could have Juju Smith-Schuster, who we saw have a big game. You could have Xavier Worthy. There's other guys that you can mix and match in, but the confidence level I have in those is nil. Whereas if you look at the running back side, then a Kareem Hunt would make sense. Maybe a Pacheco. It's kind of weird though, right, Griff? Like Hunt came back, Pacheco sort of took over, then Hunt kind of retook the spot. Like it's interesting.
I have a long shot for the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I like this.
Okay.
DeAndre Hopkins plus 500.
Ooh, big receiver, first Super Bowl. That plus 500 for anytime tutty?
Plus 500.
Boy, you know what? That's worth it. That's worth a couple bucks. That's worth a couple bucks. I am liking your thinking on that one because big state, yeah.
Look, 2 years ago, Sky Moore caught one. Oh my God. Look who caught the game winner last year. It was Mecole Hardman.
What was the pay? I think we did the show on that, like leading up to that. Sky, that payout was stupid too. Wasn't it like plus 1,000 or something? Like it was dumb.
Yeah, it was. I have to go back and rewatch the episode, but it was something like that because like so this is the third time Andy and I have done this, which every year Andy and I, we seem to do this Degenerates guide to the Super Bowl. The Chiefs win the Super Bowl. So we'll see if it happens for a third year in a row.
Yeah, we're the X Factor. Yeah.
Yeah, we're the real X Factor, not the refs or Hollywood, which I have thoughts on that on my own. But no, I just look at it where I'm like, the Super Bowl, look, everyone looks for the big stars to shine. But like, if you think about in recent history, like Nick Foles catching a touchdown against the Patriots, the shirt I'm wearing, Live Each Day Like it's 28-3, because today's the 8-year anniversary of that wonderful, not so wonderful game. James White was the star. No diss to James White, but it's not the guy you think that's going to do it.
Right.
Super Bowl 50 with the Broncos, Von Miller and Sylvester Williams, the defensive lineman, getting a touchdown on the sack from Cam Newton. Even Super Bowl 50, even 49 with Malcolm Butler. There's always someone unexpected that rises up, and I feel like in what may be his last game, I'm saying this too just because you never know with a guy like DeAndre Hopkins, because if they win, he could just say, hey, I got mine. I'm going to walk off into the sunset on top. And for him, there's a lot to it where it's just been with Houston with his career, then went to Arizona, then had the struggles with Tennessee, and now he's on the Chiefs looking to win. So it's like, hey, why not him?
No, you're right. And all depends too. And that Philadelphia defense, just like the Kansas City defense, is underrated and not talked about enough because of the talent on offense that both teams have. So depends on matchup too. Where's Slay lining up? Where's that, what's his name? The rookie, Degenerates. You have Nolan Smith, the linebacker, who's been a disruptor. To track those, that's interesting to see also who's going to be going. And it might be a case too, Griff, where we're looking in-game bets. Once it starts, we're feeling out the coverage. Oh, so-and-so's covering so-and-so. Possible opportunity you can jump into in-game.
Kadarius Toney 2 years ago as well had a really good game as well.
Punt return. Yeah, he had the punt return.
He had the punt return, and then he was left I'm looking at the guys that are probably going to be left unguarded in the end zone, because they're going to look at the AFC Championship game and think, hey, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy, we got to sell out for these guys, where it's like, oh, hey, DeAndre Hopkins, maybe he's on like the weaker safety or the weaker cornerback. So where it's like, hey, you can exploit those matchups.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I think that makes sense, and he still has some left in the tank. We've seen him pop from time to time this year.
You know what? That's the thing. He can just go in there and do it. And like I said, too, heroes are made on the biggest stages. But there's one of my favorite bets that I love to place every year. It's nothing to do with the football itself.
Okay.
And also, too, for everyone thinking, I see people over the internet like, oh, where do you go for this? It's a science. No, it's not. This star has to shine. This is their biggest stage to shine, and they shine, and they're going to milk it every year.
Oh, boy.
You're going to have an anthem of over 2 minutes. It's going over 119 seconds. We all know this.
Reba was 94 seconds. She was under. She zipped through it.
I got it at 89.5 last year.
Oh, so you took the under fastest ever.
No. I did over 89, and it was 94.
You did over 89. Yeah. Nice. The fastest ever, I looked this week, was Billy Joel back in 2007. Did it in 90 seconds.
Ooh,
then I know. The Piano Man wanted out of there.
I think that was the Super Bowl where it was pouring rain as well, because I remember Prince was playing Purple Rain.
Oh, yeah. Maybe it's like, get me out of here. Okay.
I don't want to be wet. But I remember like even Chris Stapleton 2 years ago was 2 minutes and 2 seconds, because I know it was right around, I think it was 123 was the line. Was the line for that. But I'm just looking at this too, where I'm like, they get the chance to milk this, and blanking. I got to look up the guy's name who's doing this, just because I know at the Super Bowl they do the 3 anthems. There's God Bless America or America the Beautiful, Lift Every Voice to Sing.
John is doing the anthem.
He's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
In New Orleans. And you know what? You get to go on there and just do you. Like, they're going to drag this out too. And, because like when like this, it's a gripe I have with some sports where the Canadian anthem, I feel like sometimes it's rushed. But then with the American anthem, John's going to take his time with it. He's going to just pop it. And one other one I'm going to do quickly is the halftime show. I don't know how familiar you are with Kendrick, but he's got a song called Mad City. It was plus 1,200. Last year, I got the right song for the Super halftime show, because during the pregame show, Nate Burleson said "Caught Up," which is a song line from Usher. And I was like, I'm going to say that's the first song. And it was. 2 years ago, my wife had it with "Bitch Better Have My Money" by Rihanna. So, you know what? It's fun. This is the thing about the Super Bowl that's fun. These little bets, like the anthem, the halftime show. I didn't see Gatorade color odds, but I will say this. I think if it's the Chiefs, it's lemon lime. But I think if it's the Eagles, I could see blue or red. I don't know why. I think the Chiefs have done lemon lime before. So if you see lemon lime, bet lemon lime if you think the Chiefs are going to win, but go blue or red if you think the Eagles are going to win.
Well, I'll tell you this. I looked this up this week. It's been purple Gatorade the last 2 Super Bowls for the Chiefs.
Ooh, I know it was lemon lime for 50. It was lemon lime for 54. That's why I said it. I blanked on purple from last year.
The last 2 have been purple. And purple is the favorite, I believe. I think it's whatever it is, plus whatever. But I don't know if you're the Chiefs and you win 2 in a row and it's purple, you might be doing purple again.
I'm going to check some. I'm going to see if I can find. I'm going to Google this quickly. Super Bowl Gatorade odds. I do a lot of stuff on the. Oh,
Can
I
I
see.
give you a hot take quick on the halftime shows? Because it really
Yes.
bugs me. That Rihanna halftime show 2 years ago was the worst halftime show I've ever seen in my life. And I don't get a lot of outlets to voice my anger over it, Griff. Because I like Rihanna. I like the performer. She shows up 9.5 months pregnant, ready to pop. She's sitting there in a giant red suit, like Santa Claus, being hoisted around, did nothing, wasn't moving, wasn't doing anything. Everything was voiced over. That sucked. That was the worst, most disappointing. I saw Rihanna, I'm like, all right, I love Rihanna. No. And she knew they don't tell them 2 years in advance. Okay. So she knew she was pregnant. She wanted the exposure. That was a garbage Super Bowl halftime show. It was boring, didn't move, terrible. Rihanna, shame. Get the bell out from Game of Thrones. Ding, ding, ding. Shame. Shame. Terrible. It pisses me. That one pisses me off, man. It drives me nuts. Rihanna's Super Bowl. Worst. I'll go this far. Worst Super Bowl halftime show I've ever seen.
I just think the Super Bowl halftime show is they essentially do it. They don't do it because, like, I know everyone, like, if it was an ideal football world, you'd be doing what the football fans want. But they know that if they can lure, like, I've seen people online talking about, like, because Kendrick Lamar is going on tour and he's coming to our neck of the woods at the Rogers Center, but tickets are really expensive. So everyone's just like, hey, if you don't want to pay for tickets, just watch the halftime show and then don't watch the rest of the game. Because, you know, if you get those people in for that 15-minute window, that really spikes the number. That's the thing with the Super Bowl. It's never been made for people like you or me. It's made for the person who watches one game a year or the person who knows what the NFL is, but spends their Sundays, their normal Sundays, going to brunch and not locked up in a basement or a house watching football for 11.5 hours like you and I gladly will do for 21 weeks of the year. Maybe soon to be probably 22, because I don't know if you saw it.
Over.
Yes. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with Sunday, I always say. It's like, it's not like a funeral, but it's in that sense where you're like, it's the Super Bowl, it's the culmination of a season, but at the same time, too, there's no NFL football for another 5.5 months or 7 months. I'd say, 6 months. There's no football until the preseason, but there's no NFL till August. But for us Canadians, I don't know. I see some CFL stuff around here. They're back in 3 months, and
there is the UFL. If you fancy yourself some, really not great football, but it's there. Plus the combine, free agency, and the draft. The storylines is where it picks up. That's where I like to sink my teeth into.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Because that's the thing with the NFL. Like you and I, we're Canadian. We love hockey, but after like the Stanley Cup gets awarded, they draft, free agency happens, and then everyone goes away for 2 months.
Yeah.
Football, you only get like really what from mini camp to training camp, where nothing really goes on except for contract extensions and people doing stupid things. So you're right. For people of us, like people like us, who whose teams are terrible right now, the next few weeks, next 2 months are where it really gets exciting, because it's, hey, what are we going to sign? Who are we going to draft? I know there's some other stuff in case of your team we'll see what happens with the Garrett situation. I still think there's one of
just what I need.
I think there's, I'm just going to say this. I'm not, because I don't want to harp on it, because I know it's bad. You don't want to hear this, but I think there's 3 outcomes. One, the one that I don't want to have happen is that he gets traded to Philadelphia or like a Kansas City. I don't want that. The second, look, they either work, he stays, but they work something out, and it's like, kind of that awkwardness. But then, because I think most Brown fans have the understanding of, from what I've seen, of, hey, look, we understand. Like, yeah, our team shot themselves in the foot. Like, we understand you getting out of here. I've seen that angle a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one, which I think probably will happen, is that he gets traded to like a mediocre team, like what we saw from Brian Burns last year, where he went from the Panthers to the Giants.
I hope that's what happens, because I love Myles Garrett. I do, but I have no pity or don't feel sorry for Myles Garrett. He's a 6'5" chiseled rich god who's the best at his position. And he wants to win something more. Boo-hoo! I want what's best for my football team. What's best for my football team is for him to be sent to another crappy team, so the draft picks are better. So I hope Myles Garrett gets sent to a dumpster fire where the team stinks, and I get a great draft pick. Him winning a championship does nothing for me. He doesn't know who I am, and I get nothing out of it. So what the hell? I don't care. I want him. I heard, Mike, your Patriots could be a possibility. Lots of salary cap room. You got your quarterback. Imagine Drake May and Myles Garrett. All you gotta do is give up those juicy little draft picks, Griff. Come on, send them over.
I know what I
Send
want.
them over.
I know, but I want Abdul Carter.
You know, Abdul Carter. You don't know what you're getting. You know you're getting the defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett. Give me those draft picks.
I just, for as much as I would love it, I just don't think it's the right move. Like, it's not that move
Here's
for
the
them to
thing.
make.
Mike Vrabel just spent a year in Cleveland as well.
Ooh.
Just saying.
I'm gonna have to like, you know how you'd say, like the Star Wars thing, not Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, light the beacons. It's like I got to do it with the Patriots fans, where it's like, light the beacons, guys. Do we want Myles Garrett? Do we not want Myles Garrett? I know we have 130 plus million in cap to spend.
You can get him. You can get him on your rookie contract for your quarterback. You get him. You give me this first round pick because you guys are what, 4?
Number 4.
You got 4. Give me first year next year. Sprinkle in maybe a 2 and a 3. We're all living happy. And let's not forget this. The Browns, of course, shoot themselves in the foot extra because if they do trade Myles Garrett, I could see the possibility of they restructured the like it would have to be a cahoots thing where, like, let's say they send to the Patriots and it's like, okay, Patriots, what do you want his new contract to be? We'll do that deal to give a salary cap, dead cap relief, then send him to you. Because if you send him right now, if you trade Myles Garrett today, that's $36 million in dead cap money, with the Browns are already $26 million over the cap.
Yes, and also too, I believe I read or I heard yesterday that he's due a roster bonus, I think on the 5th day of the new league year, which I think is March 18th or 19th. So nice little St. Patrick's Day gift for him coming his way, I guess.
Yeah, another thing to feel sorry for Myles for. I don't feel sorry for anybody except myself and Browns fans. That's who I feel sorry for. Anyway, back to the Super Bowl.
You know, I was going to say one thing. You get to enjoy your stadium mustard with your Cleveland whiskey.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I just finished, and thank goodness those tariffs are paused. I might have to take a trip down to Cleveland, see if I can get some more Cleveland whiskey before the next season.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Okay, so going back, and also, folks, for those of you out there, Sunday morning, 10 a.m., join me in the chat as Andy gets you ready for the Super Bowl on the Sick Browns podcast.
Let's go.
I have OddsShark has the colors here. Purple is the favorite at plus 195.
Okay.
Red/yellow and green is plus 230. Okay. A fun little one, orange plus 450.
Orange is classic. Yeah.
Blue at plus 700, red and pink at 850, and then clear and water, clear/water at plus 1,000.
Boy, so you have to think who you think is going to win. You'd think it would be yellow/green for the Eagles, but again, it depends too. Like maybe the people who maybe they don't care. It's like I don't care, or maybe Patrick Mahomes likes red, right? Like I don't know. And so, or sorry, maybe Jalen Hurts likes red, or Saquon Barkley likes purple. Like we don't know those side things. But I would say I'd put my money on purple personally.
Do you know that since 2001, orange has been dumped the most at 5 times? That's 20% of the time.
Oh.
But since 2015, blue has been the most frequent, appearing at 4.
Okay. And purple's catching up with the last 2.
Yes. Red has never won. Yellow has appeared 3 times. And purple Gatorade has been the last 2, like you've mentioned, with the Chiefs.
Interesting. See, I would be like such a shady NFL worker. Like if I was working the game, just look. Yeah, you know what's good? Just look, and then call your buddy's buddy, tell their cousin to put some money on it.
So the fun thing too is before purple, blue won 2 years in a row. Blue was the Rams and blue was the Buccaneers.
Oh, okay. So early 2000s.
Yes, I'm looking at it right here. The Chiefs' first one was actually orange, not lemon lime. Excuse me. The Patriots used blue for 2015 and 2019. There was no Gatorade in 2017, the infamous Super Bowl 51, 28-3. Eagles used yellow in 2018, sadly. 2016, the Broncos used orange. The Seahawks used orange. The Ravens used none in 2013. The Giants, unfortunately, used purple in 2012. But we had orange 2 years in a row with the Packers and the Saints in 2010 and 2011.
Okay. All right. So we got some options here. I'm going to stick with purple. I'll play it safe.
I got to venture. I don't know. I kind of want to go orange. I kind of, like, hey, it's been 2 years in a row. You know what? Just like change it up a bit. But there's also another. Exactly. But there's another bet, though. You know, I said earlier with the national anthem, you got to bet the over because it's fun.
Yeah.
bet the over for the game at 48.5. It's fun. You don't get NFL football after this for a very long time. You want points. You don't want a boring game. Last year's, by the way, was what was last year? I think last year was right around the number. I know
Right.
it hit in 20. It hit 2 years ago because the game was 38-35. It did not hit the last two before that with the Buccaneers and the Rams. But the last two I think last year was like right, or I got to look up the exact score because I know last year was at 47.5, but it did not hit. It was like, because I remember I bet it last year, and last year's game was 25-22. So that's 47. I believe is at 47.5 or 48.5 last year. So you know what? I think with these teams too, both defenses are great. But look, the Chiefs allowed 29 points last game too. And even though the Eagles scored 50 plus, they still allowed over 20 points as well. So both overs hit. So have fun. Life's too short to bet the under.
Let's absolutely. And some other of the fun ones you can bet. I'm just looking here for the halftime show. You can bet on who will be a guest if Lamar's going to have guests on stage. Apparently, for the surprises, if Drake shows up, it's plus 3,500. That would be a twist. That would be a twist. The main ones: J-Rock plus 205, Schoolboy Q plus 600. I'll be honest, I have no idea who either of those people are outside of Drake, but those are the odds. I have no idea. So maybe.
I'm trying to find some. I'm just looking. Oh, I have no idea what an octopus is. I'm not betting that. Alternate spread lines, by the way, if you want, what I would consider doing. Okay, let's go down the rabbit hole. Okay, I'm trying to bet. Okay, so right now, by the way, on DraftKings, 55% of the bets are coming in on Philadelphia, 45 are coming in on Kansas City. So this game's really going to be a toss-up from the sportsbook's point of view.
Yeah.
But
how they want it. They love it like that.
But here's the thing, though. I think if the Eagles are going to win, I said this for the AFC Championship game that Buffalo was going to win. Like on your show, it was going to be a significant victory if Kansas City won close. So the bets I would make is either the Chiefs at minus 2.5 points is plus 103, or if you want to, I would bet the Eagles at minus 3.5 at plus 162. I wouldn't want to take either money line. I'd rather take the spread.
Yes, I like that because the 1.5. Like if you're going to go 1.5, like you might as well go 2.5. You might as well go 3. You know, like if it's going to be that close, it's probably a field goal, or you win by like 4 and it's 3.5 or something. So I'm with you there. Alt spread, I think, is the play. A little bit better payout, might as well, right? And much better than the money line. You're right.
I go quickly to Super Bowl specials, and there's one that just made me scream with like, what the hell? What the heck? Birthday boy, Saquon Barkley, 5 touchdowns at plus 15,000.
Ha! Good God. Give the money to charity instead at that point, kids. Come on.
$10 would win you 1,500. Here is one that is actually interesting. It's called Graham Crackers. Brandon Graham, who's been out since November, is practicing, may play. Him to record a sack plus 250, though, but he gets voided if he doesn't play.
Boom. I would like that up because he'll be probably sprinkled in third down passing situations. He'll be jacked up if he's ready to go. He'll be ready. I like that. Brandon Graham, yes. Let's get some crumbs of Graham Crackers. Let's sprinkle it.
Another one I see here, total players to have a pass attempt over 2.5 at plus 180.
Does that mean someone does a trick play?
Yeah.
A little Philly? Yeah, why not?
I hate hearing it, but that or even Kansas City, because they tried doing some trickery with Xavier Worthy in the AFC Championship game. So,
okay. And what are the odds for that? What is it?
That is at over 2.5 is at plus 180. Under is minus 238.
Well, you might as well go over. Like we're talking, like if you sprinkle a few bucks on, you're not gonna get rich off it, but you might as well, right? You add up, total them up, do a bunch, total them up on some safe ones.
And then also too, there is the okay, and then there's also Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes to have a rush, their longest rushing be over 20 yards. Both of them is plus 1,000. The Saquon Barkley one's just hilarious, but out of all of these, like I don't like doing the fun little prop bets like that just because sometimes it's just ways for books to take your money. But the Graham Crackers one, I'm really a fan of. Me too.
I'm definitely in with that because again, he's not going to be playing the full game. He would be put in specialty blitz only situations.
There is also there's two here that I see. We're gonna run through these quickly because I know your time's valuable. There is
Thanks, brother.
Rushing to Glory where Barkley for 120 plus and Kareem Hunt for 70 plus at plus 1100.
But that both score a touchdown?
No, just rushing yards.
Oh, and what was that at? What was that number?
Plus 1100.
No, like how many yards do they have to rush for?
Oh, Saquon's 120, Kareem Hunt is 70. $10 would pay you 120.
Ooh, the 70 for Kareem Hunt makes me nervous.
I
You got
know.
Pacheco. I don't like it.
The other one I like though is tight end U, where it's Kelsey and Goddard to each catch a touchdown plus 800.
Okay, you can talk me into that one because if you think Kelsey will, and you got to throw the ball, yeah, that you know what? Let's check real quick with Dallas Goddard. I just want to see the last his touchdowns because I like that idea. You also have AJ Brown and Devonta Smith to worry about, right?
Plus 165 for AJ Brown, and the bet I really like Devonta Smith plus 240.
Ooh, see, Devonta Smith could get in. Let's see, game log. What was the last touchdown he had? He had it NFC wild card against Green Bay. I'm talking Dallas Goddard here.
Oh yeah, he had a good game against the Rams, but his last touchdown was against Green Bay.
Only 2 regular season touchdowns this year.
Yes, one against Dallas on November 10th. He was also hurt for a good chunk. He was hurt for a good chunk of the year.
Yeah, he was.
He did nothing against your
Baltimore.
Browns. He did nothing against your Browns, and then yes, he had that game against Baltimore where I bet the under and won some money there.
So, not a sure thing, but heck, at that number, you might as well, right?
You know what? You might as well.
I don't hate it.
Like the tight end you one I like, and there's also Super Bowl 57 Deja Vu, which was I got to look this up quickly. Where is it? Hurts, Kelsey, and Brown at plus 1200.
All score.
Hurts,
Kelsey, and again, not crazy. Crazy.
There's a lot of these. Because that's the thing. A lot of these popular ones that they bundle together. Like I say, a lot of them are ways just for the sports books to kind of gravitate you in. But a lot of these ones have a lot of promise to them. That's the thing. Sometimes it's like, hey, this Kelsey 2 touchdowns, 120 receiving yards. Like I wouldn't go there, but
no.
But for both, because that's the other thing too with Dallas Goddard that I like. Because I'm going to look up Dallas Goddard on his own. Him on his own is plus 290.
I might just do that too, if you believe. But I like the double.
If you really want another fun one too, Samaje Perine at plus 900
and
Grant Calcaterra at plus 1500.
Oh God, too, something like that happens. We just talked about the weird stuff. Yeah, it'll be a Calcaterra touchdown. Some guy puts something on and wins a bunch of money. But if me or you did it, he's not scoring.
It's like that thing where it's like, show us your prop, show us this person's first. I think it was some guy in the Chargers where it's like, and then some random person goes, here's a bet slip where it's $20, wins him $250. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, how much did that guy lose making stupid bets like that all the time, though, right?
I'm going to end
with lost thousands.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to end on one last one, though.
Okay.
I would love Saquon Barkley, but Jalen Hurts' first touchdown at plus 650.
Ooh. All depends who wins the coin toss. Chiefs, you know what? I believe the Chiefs won the last 2. And I saw a quick coin flip one. Tails has won 3 out of the last 4, but the last time Chiefs and Eagles played, Tails won.
A fun bet to make is Kansas City to win the toss and win the game plus 255, but for the Eagles to do it, it's plus 320.
Now, do you have to pick which side of the coin? Or just win the toss?
Win the toss, win the game.
Oh, okay. Well, I would take Chiefs then. I would take Chiefs in that one.
Yeah, I would do that too. But before we go, Andy, man, it's always great doing this, talking betting with you. It's fun.
Love it, buddy.
I gotta ask you though, who will be hoisting Lombardi? Will the Eagles get over what happened 2 years ago in Arizona, or are we getting the three-peat? Which I learned today, Pat Riley gets royalties because he coined the term when the Lakers were trying to do it back in the 80s.
I saw that. Good for Pat Riley thinking ahead.
So he'll be making a lot of money if the Chiefs win on Sunday.
Yeah, no kidding. My heart wants to say go Birds, go Eagles, because I'm fatigued from the Chiefs. But I'm a wrestling guy, Griff, and we both are. And to be the man, you got to beat the man, to coin Ric Flair. and nobody has proven to beat the Chiefs. So how can I, if I'm talking just with my money, okay, not what I want to happen, but just with my money, until someone beats the Chiefs, why would I bet against them? Why? Like on paper, Eagles absolutely could win this game and probably should. But we know what should happen and how this Chiefs team is able to overcome and just get that little break here or there, whether it's from an official, their own. They don't make mistakes. The Eagles wait them out. They just find a way, man. So until they don't find a way, I gotta say Chiefs.
So my pick's gonna be coming on the very last show before the Super Bowl, which will be coming out on Friday.
Oh,
but folks, we have Eagles people. We've got Chiefs people coming up. And we got McGarvin coming up. We got 3 episodes to go. Which, fun fact, Chiefs fan is friend of Andy's, Andrew Patterson from Winnipeg. So
you got Hustler on.
Hustler will be on tomorrow afternoon with me.
Oh, tell him I say hi. Great guy.
I will. I'll tell the Hustler
you said hi.
Yeah. But here's my thing with the Chiefs. It's playoff football is not about winning the game. It's about winning the moment, because winning the moment wins you the game. I know that sounds really weird, but when you win moments in the playoffs, you do this. And here's the other factor I have. Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game did not need to be Patrick Mahomes to win the game, which is even more scary if you think about it.
Yep.
Like he had a good game, but here's the thing. He didn't have a good – I'm not saying he had a bad game. He just didn't need to be a, Superman, crazy guy out there. He doesn't have to be, which is almost scarier than waiting for Dr. Doom just to knock you down,
Yeah. Like he doesn't have to be, but if needed, he can be. And that's what really is that X factor for them.
It is the X. It 100%. It honestly is.
It's going to be. I hope it's at least a good game. Let's make it close, high scoring, like you said. Get the over, make it close, come down to a field goal, and whatever happens, happens. Have a good time with it.
That's all we ask for. All I ask for is I just want a good competitive game of football. I don't want any no matter what happens to you guys. And I'll say this right now for everyone thinking, oh, it's rigged, it's this. 2 factors go into that. 1, I don't think the refs are doing that. And 2, if it did happen, certain people would probably be.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, if word about that were to get out, there'd be like Joe. You basically be having happen to you what happened to Joe Pesci and Goodfellas. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you get brought into the room. Yep, you get brought into the empty room with the tarp on the ground, and that's the history of that. But I don't think there's nothing like that happening. I just think it's
stars get calls, man.
It's stars get calls. That's all it is. It's some stars will get calls because they know what to do to foul. We see it in basketball. We're seeing it in football. But we'll see what happens Sunday. But like I said, all I ask for is a good game of football before NFL goes into hibernation mode for most people, not for us though, because combine, free agency, the draft, trades. We didn't even talk about Cooper Kupp being told to kick rocks from the LA Rams.
Yeah, right. Odd.
The NFL trained. They saw Luka Doncic get traded, and they're like, okay, writers, so you start doing this.
You get Garrett, Cooper Kupp. Yeah.
You get Garrett, you get Cooper Kupp, you get someone else, and then you go from there.
The storylines never end, my friend. I always love doing these degenerate guide betting shows with you, buddy. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. And folks, I'll be in the comments Sunday morning at 10 a.m.
Yeah. Can't wait to see you in there.
Sick Browns Pod YouTube. I'm going to be bringing some of the bets here so a further audience can see it, because Sunday, we want you to win money. We're not here just throwing stuff out for fun. We're doing it because Andy and I want to get richer, and we want to help you get richer too. So if you want to get richer, you can call this number, $4.95 a minute. No, I'm just kidding, guys.
The old toll free. Yeah. Yes. Get your tips now.
Get your tips now. Anyway, guys, episode 345 in the bag. Andy, enjoy the Super Bowl. We'll talk soon, pal.
You too, my friend. We'll see you in the chat on Sunday.
Absolutely. Have a good night, everybody.